Compost piles are incredibly moisture retentive. The amount of water, I mean, I put probably well over 1,000 gallons from a hose out of the water collection all winter collecting into here, and it still does not feel soggy or damp. It's definitely moist, a good texture, but it's amazing how much it does absorb. And I learned that the hard way when I first started doing this, because I used to put a tarp on top of it because I wanted to retain the heat that was being generated to accelerate the temperature of the pile in order to speed up the decomposing process. So knowing that, and knowing that when you don't have water, it shuts down that process, when I flip my pile, so now it's spring, going to be in the summer, it doesn't get really direct sunlight too much, it's kind of in the shade, so I don't have to worry about it too much. But when I flip my pile, so I have my layers of greens, browns, the last layer I always put on is a blanket of green, which now the grass in this case is not going to pretty much act as its green nature in terms of the composting, maybe the layer that's touching the soil, but the top layer is going to act as a mulch, because once the grass dries out, it becomes like this, and then it's just kind of a rug that stops the water from coming out, but it's still biocompatible, that when I do flip it again, it still can serve a purpose instead of a tarp that has no biological purpose. So if you do flip, put some sort of layer on top of it, ideally something that will decompose, in order to keep the water to stay within the pile, because if you lose that water, you're going to shut down the composting, and it's incredibly difficult to really soak the water unless you put thousands of gallons into this size of pile to get it rehydrated in order to get the environment that is suitable for these sorts of things. So highly recommend your last layer being the green layer when you flip your pile.